My name is Charlton Jackson. This is my 6th year at Chadwick International. I began 6 years ago as the assistant middle school principal of the middle school, and now this is my 2nd year as the middle school principal at Chadwick International. So I started Chadwick School in 1975 as a kindergartner, and I graduated in 1988. My 2 kids, my daughter, she graduated in 2016 and she also began in kindergarten. And my son was very similar. He graduated in 2020 from Chadwick School and he also began as a kindergarten student at Chadwick School. And interestingly enough, my wife never worked at Chadwick School, but now she works here at Chadwick International and she's in her 2nd year here. So as a family and personally, we have a long history with Chadwick. I think my love and passion for teaching started actually when I was a student at Chadwick. I can think back to my 11th grade math class. I had a teacher named Bill Park, and it was my favorite class. He was just a teacher who really knew how to connect with students. I really enjoyed his class, and in retrospect, that's kind of where my passion for teaching began. Algebra definitely is a special course for me. I think it's a unique course. It is the foundation for virtually every higher level math course, so it's very, very valuable for future success. It's also, at Chadwick School, algebra is taught in grade 8. Now, studies have shown that with grade 8 students, that's the time where abstract thinking starts to kick in. And literally what algebra means is abstract arithmetic. What I really love about teaching is the ability to see those aha moments, the light bulbs actually turning on in the minds of students. You can see it on their expressions, you can see it on how they enjoy the subject or not. So, and you do have to be careful because it can go either way, right? It's tough. It's challenging because of the nature of the abstract requirements in your thinking. If there isn't strong relationships, if the students don't feel connected to the teacher, connected to the class, then when it's difficult, you risk them giving up. So I had a student, 1st year, grade 8, struggled in the class. You know, we had a pretty fun class, you know, everyone seemed to enjoy it. I felt like we had good camaraderie in the class. I felt like we had the right culture in the class. Still, the material for this particular student was challenging and ultimately was not successful grade-wise in the course. The parents agreed and they said they talked to their child and their child decided, yes, I'll do it again, but I want to be in Mr. Jackson's class again. Which for me, that felt great because, you know, here's a student who struggled, yet they wanted to be in my class again. So I felt really good about that. Now, I really wanted them to succeed because it's really important that they see that their hard work pays off. The story turned out beautifully. Literally, this student was the model student of the class. It was majority 8th graders and there were like 1 or 2 9th graders. He was one of the 9th graders, but I mean, model the way that you approach a class, from note taking to answering questions to focus, and all of that paid off with, and I'm not exaggerating, performing at an A+ level. My coaching experience began when I first started at Chadwick. I started coaching in the middle school. I coached middle school flag football and I coached middle school basketball. Those were the 2 sports that I played when I was at Chadwick. I played football and basketball in my high school years. And for me, coaching, it kind of parallels the integral part of education. What I mean by that is, like the things that I saw in kids in math class, in order for kids to succeed, they needed to persevere, they needed to work hard, they needed to, really focus on the process, the study skills, the habits of mind, and then the results will come. Sports, I find, is a great microcosm of all of those things. And sports has the advantage of it's really easy to get the hook, to get them engaged because, it's really closely tied to play. The other thing about sports that I really felt was necessary for me is it's so important to connect with your students. If you connect with your students, they'll want to learn from you. It doesn't matter how hard or easy the course is, they'll want to learn from you, they'll be more engaged. Sports is a great way to connect with them. Connecting with students outside of the classroom really supports what you're doing inside of the classroom, whether it's outdoor education and you're going on the trips with them and they see you kind of in that uncomfortable environment, Or it's actually in sports where, you know, it's at the beginning of the year and your team has a lot of things to work on and you improve over time, and sometimes you work really, really hard and you have a tough game and you still lose. And then, you know, how do you carry yourself then? My most immediate goals obviously have to do with my current role. Being the middle school principal, I want Chadwick International Middle School to be the best middle school possible. And how do you define that? By any measure you choose to define that. I want obviously it's got to be student-centered. So from the student point of view, it means creating lifelong learners who have the confidence to be able to do whatever they want to do. It's not about having every student get the highest score, all 8s on their achievement levels. What I really want is for every student to have the confidence that, okay, whatever it is I want to be able to do, I have the confidence that if I work hard, if I learn from my mistakes, if I reflect, I can do that. So whether you choose that metric or any other metric, I want to have the best middle school sports teams. I want to have the best math program. I want to have the best middle school possible. So that would be my short-term goals. Long-term, I have a vision of Chadwick Schools, plural, Chadwick Schools, really becoming the top educational institution to where we have multiple campuses, where each campus is supporting one another, collaborating with one another, enhancing each campus's ability to deliver the mission. I just think we could actually be leaders in the field of education. And I want that from selfish reasons, from being an alum, from more altruistic reasons, having more students around the world to have access to a Chadwick education. I think it's the way that I can impact the world. Like if I were thinking, like everyone at some point in their life decides, okay, what am I contributing to this world? How am I making the world a better place? I think that can be done through having Chadwick School be a leader in education and having more students worldwide have access to that education.